craving for more. So well done for organizing it.
Yeah, that's why I always wanted to have such kind of course, which is more interactive, and so
Yeah. So it is quite interesting because I got only the last part where you were talking about cybersecurity, choosing right passwords, making sure that everything is kind of working towards the personal kind of safety on the
yeah,
net, and we can't overestimate it because you were talking about phishing schemes, about so many other information that goes into and how people can control it. And I believe it's not only important from the knowledge point of view, it's important from empowering point of view. So they feel in control of what they're doing, and they feel that they can do whatever they want to do online safely.
right, exactly.
Awesome. So did you say that you're going to do it in Nelson and in Otago?
I have already conducted in February and in March. Now my plan is to conduct it in Auckland. Yeah, and since I've received a very good feedback in New Plymouth, maybe I will conduct another session here in New Plymouth. That's my plan. I will check with Shabir that how Shabir can support us. Yeah.
Shabir, why did you make a decision to have these courses? Was there a necessity, or did you make a decision that the community just needs to?
Well, overall, maybe Junaid's idea actually, and was really well thought in a way that think about mobile device these days. Our life really rely on it. From the and that's what in an opening session I explained that from the alarm. We used to have separate alarms and all that. Now we don't have it. We used to go to the bank. Now we don't go. The phone is the bank for us. Office. Some people have even like whole office in the phone. So our life is all dependent on it. Phone knows where we are.
You basically described my life. Yeah? Just like have an office and everything I do on the phone.
Think about it. So you need to know more about it. What can you do? Everyone should know about it. What is the power of it? But at the same time, people should know how you are exposed to cybersecurity sort of a thing. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So it's very important to know the device, know your power, but also how you can make yourself secure. So that's what I thought when you brought this idea and you wanted to do this. I'm like, this is great, especially in Pakistani culture and our society. Women is less exposed to technology compared to men. So that's why you've seen a lot of women and children.
So you wanted to kind of lift them up to
Absolutely.
to the level. Oh, that's awesome. Because
It can be easily scammed than,
Yeah.
for example, a man who's dealing these sort of problems all the time. So
Junaid showed
very
some
good.
scam examples on the screen. It was really funny, and I don't know who falls for it, but obviously people do. Otherwise, they would stop doing it, right?
I received this email. I'm receiving the text messages from different numbers, and so that's what actually I want people to just avoid clicking on those type of links and just
Just be critical thinkers and don't go for everything that kind of is offered, right?
Of course.
So you both speak very good English. Of course, we have accent. All of us in the studio today with accent are dominating over people who don't. And also the people whom I talk to at the event, your digital educational event, they also were very good speakers and very articulate, very good English. So may I ask you, how long have you been here in New Zealand and where did you study?
all right. I think I will start first.
Okay, Junaid.
Yeah. I came from a background from Pakistan, but most of my time I lived in Middle East around 11, 12 years, and recently I came in 2021. So you can say 1.5 year. So when I came here, I was in Auckland for a few months, like you know. Any migrant who want to just going in and a
Such
big
a time
city.
to come anyway. 2021, everyone is so
Oh
scared.
yeah. The time when I came, I came in MIQ.
Yeah, and you spent there 6 months, right?
I spent
Almost
in
like jail or something.
but it was a very good experience. I mean, after 3 months, I came in New Plymouth and I started working here. So it was a very good experience for me.
Where did
And
you work when you came to?
I'm working with SGS ECL
Mhm.
as an automation engineer.
Mhm.
Um, and well, I choose in Taranaki basically because I always wanted to live close to the nature,
Mhm.
and Taranaki is the place where you can do skiing and surfing in a one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
do you do both? Do you surf and ski?
I have done the skiing. I tried skiing, but surfing, no. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I have seen people. So this is one of the best thing in Taranaki.
I believe we're totally blessed. I love Taranaki.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best places in the whole big world.
I,
The climate is so forgiving, and I mean, it's nice. People are nice here. Everything is so
and
nice.
the
Lots of
beautiful
food,
mountains.
mountain,
Yeah.
yes. So, what about you, Shabir? How long ago did you move to New
Yeah,
Zealand?
it's been 9 years.
Mhm.
But I actually studied my bachelor's in Pakistan, but I did my master's in UK
Is it engineering?
as engineering,
Mm.
petroleum engineering, and I've been to multiple places. I've lived in Scotland, I've lived in Iran, I've lived in Egypt. Well, it's been 9 years in Taranaki, Nuclear top time. So I moved here with Shell, and we've been loving it, basically staying in Taranaki and
Mm.
Nuclear.
Yeah, so I met your wife today. She's beautiful. She's such a nice lady and very very welcoming. Very nice to talk to. So she said, ask her what is she doing. She said, I support my husband. I said, wow, that's nice. That's something that every husband would want to hear. Isn't it wonderful? So as I understand, she helps you with some community work within the Pakistani society, organizing events and food and things like that.
Absolutely, she's the key contributor basically, and that and mainly what I've seen and what the way we basically celebrate and arrange all these things. The women basically drive it. The woman is the key basically in arranging and setting up the skills that we want to perform something and all that. So it's all basically driven by them.
Oh
So my
wow.
wife is definitely and all the ladies of Pakistani community.
Yeah, so Pakistani is a predominantly Muslim religion, right? So I mean, there is a mosque here in New Plymouth where you can go and practice, and I've been to the mosque for females part of it, and I know some people who are leaders within the female Muslim communities, and I think that it's really good because we can adapt to New Zealand lifestyle, but we don't need to lose our own self, and it's really nice that you said that women are the main contributors and basically main organizers of all these things, because I mean sometimes you let people do what they think is the best and you get the best results.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So talking about the food that you've been exposed, you've been living in Iran and where else, somewhere else, and Middle East, and Pakistani food is also quite interesting and vibrant. I'm really sad that my co-host is not here because he's a big aficionado of Asian cuisines and he can cook many dishes. Yeah. So we don't have a Pakistani restaurant in here in Taranaki, right?
Yeah.
So what is your favorite foods like from the past, from home, from the past, and from New Zealand? Is there anyone?
Maybe I can give a little bit of a background basically. Though, so Indian food and Pakistani food is very similar, especially the northern Indian food, the Punjab grill or something. It's pretty much same food. Pakistan, not big difference. In Pakistani food, we have more meat varieties compared to when you get into the Indian ones. They are more veggie varieties.
Vegetarian.
Much better, basically.
Why is that? Do you know?
There are some meat restrictions in India as well, so it's so they have
Due
more
to religious
specialty. Yeah,
experience.
exactly. So they have a lot more specialty in veggies in general, which is very delicious. I think most people have tried Indian food. So
Right.
and Pakistani food, biryani.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is the dish I absolutely love. And also, I have cooking classes, and biryani is that what I cook during my Indian cooking classes. But it's a long-term dish, so we kind of create things on the go. But I bring biryani with me, which has been in the offer for a long time, just to make everything melted. But this is a very versatile, and every place has slightly different, so with the different spices and slightly even different
Absolutely.
quantities and length of time. So biryani is something that I really, really loved by me and my nephew in particular. But also, it's a meat version that I like. I like the chicken one. Awesome. We used to have the Punjab Grill here, which was a restaurant that I absolutely loved. They had lots of fragrant foods. Sadly, they left the market, so there is a Cinnamon Kitchen there, which is another uh, uh, venue that had been our guest before, and they're friends of Warwick. So Warwick is a big kind of a devotee for Cinnamon Kitchen. So what sort of when you want something that reminds you of home, where do you go in Taranaki?
India today is very good.
India today?
India today is good. And Punjab Grill and arranged marriage.
Arranged marriage, yeah. Oh, I love arranged marriage. The Singaporean chef who works there, he's also a food writer and kind of a friend, and I follow his journey. He's pretty amazing. Yeah.
So in my case, it will be different. Um, I'm a food lover and I cook very nice food.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is so
Okay.
wonderful.
So not only me, my wife, she is also my equal contributor. So for if we want to eat Pakistani traditional food, we cook at home.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
this is one thing. And if we want to eat something different, then we go in a restaurant like the Turkish restaurant.
Turkish.
Yeah,
Mm.
I really love it.
Mm.
And sometimes when we go in other cities like Wanganui, they have plenty of Turkish restaurants. Auckland is full of
All sorts.
cuisines. Yeah, so we also go there and try our food. Most of the time, we prefer if we want a Pakistani food, we prefer and we cook it at home, and we
Oh,
invite people as well.
oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I can imagine your parties, guys,
Ah,
with the
Yeah,
music like that.
You'll be next year.
Well, Nathan and I will definitely come. Nathan is interested in
Yeah.
foreign
Oh,
cuisines
yeah.
a lot. So I think it's a perfect time to listen to the second piece of music. Can you please tell me, do I pronounce it correctly? To June?
To June.
To June, but Nasibal, Lal and Abida Parveen.
Yeah, so these are the two famous and very old singer from Pakistan, and people will love it.
So we're going into a bit of a retro classic. Let's listen.
Sure.
You will love the meaning of this one as well, yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Is it
Shanti
on?
will explain.
Yeah, it's on. It's in minor. Well, this is a 6 minute song. I think I've heard this one before
Oh, yeah.
because my sister lives in Middle East, and I don't know. It's not Pakistani song, right?
It is fine.
Yeah. So I've heard maybe something similar to it. So she lives in Arab Emirates, and this is such a melting pot of so many different cultures, and there are people from many nationalities. And food there is, oh my gosh, food is pretty amazing there. So very often you can hear the music as well because they have many festivals and you're basically exposed to it. And it's sometimes you just pass by, you hear something or see something and just go in and hey, there's a whole celebration there. um, so you said that you lived in the Middle East before. Yeah.
Yeah.
What country was it?
It was Saudi Arabia,
Mhm.
but I visited uh, almost all GCC countries like
Mhm.
Kuwait, UAE, Bahrain, and Qatar. So I found out it's a very good area to live in. But
And it's also good area to rise because this is
yeah,
a relatively new culture. Well,
of
it was
course.
it was happening right in front
Yeah.
of our eyes.
And when you talk about the food, they have an amazing food, Arabic food.
Mhm.
So I mean, they have a very good similar culture to Pakistan because these are also Muslim countries. And I lived 11 years and I found this place very great place. Uh, The only problem is the temperature, you know, as compared
Huge
to New
problem.
Zealand.
It's
Yeah.
not only but huge problem.
So New Zealand and Middle East is 180 degree apart, you know, in terms of temperature. So the weather conditions.
Yeah.
Rest of the thing, I think it's a very nice place.
I did not enjoy being in summer. I think we usually visited in the winter, which is our summer.
Yeah.
So it still was hot, but once we were like 6 days, I think, in May, and this felt like you go outside and it felt like someone hits you with a hammer, which has been in an oven before. So it's just like you feel it straight away.
Yeah.
It's not nice, but I mean, people get used to anything. People can live in a desert in Antarctica or wherever. It's just like strange. Although it's much nicer to live in New Zealand. So yeah. Plus, all these countries uh, of the same area, they are very interesting from the point of view that you can make a big impact in a short time because things change so fast.
Yeah.
And ideas get accepted, and you just basically can shape up the future of it, and it's quite exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
The only thing that worried me a lot was this still quite a lot of kind of just non-equality. There were almost like well, I shouldn't really say that, but there was non-parity, and this really something that for me as a New Zealander who came from Eastern Europe was something that was like jumping onto my eyes, and I didn't feel that it's right. Yeah.
Non-parity in between?
Sorry?
Non-parity in what sense? I mean, so,
And I mean that it's basically like a slavery there. So people with no rights there,
Yeah.
they can't really have a say. They live in a very, very simplistic situation, and they can't really complain about it because they sign some documents with someone else or something.
absolutely.
And also, it all depends on what passport you're carrying, basically. Yeah, so it is a little bit 21st century, we're still doing it, which is actually quite amazing. But it also shows that New Zealand is different. There's lots of freedoms there. There is a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. So in New Zealand, what I have experienced, we have a freedom of speech, freedom of movement, you know, freedom in traveling, you know. So it's good, you know, and Taranaki is good place to raise the children. So
Yes, it is. So you wouldn't believe it, but you've been speaking for 25 minutes already. Yes, so after the song, we will talk more about food and then I'll wrap up. Yes, so this was to June, and then we will listen to Kana Yari, which is supposed to be the second one, but I just changed the other place. So, Junaid, you're going to talk about the song after this talk? Is
I think
I can talk.
Okay, so we have a kind of a muso in the studio. Yeah. So it's a female singing, very strong presence, very matriarchal voice.
she also has short hairs like you.
Oh, okay. Is it not normal? Is it rare for females to have a short hair?
She's since I'm seeing this lady since my childhood. She's like this, and this is his popularity. You know? The
Oh, okay,
reason
so
also
it's your signature
curly
style.
hairs and
Okay, that's cool. I think it's a good time to shut it down. Welcome back to Taranaki Foodies with Hawkeye Bar and Bistro. It is me, Olina Williams, and I have amazing guests in the studio. They represent Pakistani Association of New Zealand and Pakistani Association of New Plymouth. It's Junaid Atta and Shabir Saeed. And we just listened to an amazing song. It's very meditative. It's called To Joom, and I believe Shabir will explain the meaning of the song.
Yeah, this is a mystic and Sufism
Oh.
song, basically. You know, so it says that people don't have much in their hand, basically. You know? So it's better you fight with your fate and you fight with a lot of troubles and things. You basically go with the flow. You live your life with the flow. which is the Sufism basically teach in general, rather than you try to change things, you go with the flow, and you don't have much in your hand. Basically, the destiny will decide where you end up. So whether you fight with it, you just go live your life and enjoy it. Basically, that's what basically this is
That's
all
so
about.
interesting because I believe that Sufism is philosophical kind of a construct that works on perfecting yourself. Number one, number two, using meditation through the movement, and also using short kind of wisdoms that needs to be kind of lived through, explained. And am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.